I'm Benton County Commissioner Jay Dixon. I'd like to introduce you to the people sitting over here. On my far right, or the end of that first row, is District Attorney John Haroldson. Next to him is County Commissioner Schuster. Next to her is the Circuit Court Presiding Judge, David Connell. Next to him is Sheriff Scott Jackson. In the back row, Circuit Court Locke Williams, Commissioner Annabelle Jaramillo, and Circuit Court Judge Matthew Donahue. The Board of Commissioners on Friday placed on the November election ballot a measure to build a jail. It is long overdue. We've done years of research, identified a site and cost, and it's now up to the voters. We need a jail. What we have that masquerades as a jail does not meet our community's needs. It is often closed and officers cannot lodge new arrestees. Often we have to kick someone out of the jail in order to house a new inmate. The building is falling apart. And we invite any one of you who wants to take a tour of the building so you can see for yourself. Failing locks, doors, windows, plumbing, and electrical systems need to be replaced, but it is not cost effective and sometimes impossible to repair these systems. Because the jail is too small for the variety of prisoners we house, jail deputies put themselves in harm's way in order to keep our community safe. We have no room for programs to end the cycle of addiction, mental illness, and criminal activity. Our local criminal justice system depends upon a functional jail. So today we've gathered key representatives of the system who regularly share the frustrations of a dysfunctional facility and lack of programs here to discuss a jail. And we'll start with Sheriff Scott Jackson.
Thank you, Commissioner Dixon. Echoing Commissioner Dixon's words about the jail, I'm excited that our community potentially has the option of having a jail that works for our community. Not just works for the community, but works in our criminal justice system. Brings back options for a system to target individuals with sanctions and sentences to address the underlying needs that got them there in the first place. A new jail will keep our staff and our deputies safe. There's nothing more worrying as sheriff than to be that night thinking, is this the night that something bad is going to happen in our jail because of inadequate space or inadequate tools necessary to do the job. I'm very excited for the community support we've seen so far. We pledge to keep up the work to get the information out and involve the community in building their new jail. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. I've been asked to speak just briefly about the effect that our current jail has on the role as a circuit court judge. And as we heard, we have people that are prisoners that are transported to primarily two other counties, Lincoln County and Yamhill County. This creates tremendous scheduling problems for us. In court this morning, I had a case that I needed to have brought up before me this afternoon, but it turns out the person's in Yamhill County, so it has to be scheduled over for a week. This happens constantly. When we look at community safety issues, one thing, when you're doing arraignments, you get a sheet every day, and it has a little number up on the top. That number is the current people that are in the jail. When that number is over 30, which it usually is, you know you're in trouble because your options are very limited. So when you're deciding who stays in the jail, you're also deciding who leaves the back door of the jail to go out because there's not enough space. So we have people that are not in jail that are likely to reoffend because we just do not have the room to have them in jail. Another issue for a judge is truth in sentencing, and that is you sentence someone to a specific term in jail, and then you find out they got out early because there just wasn't enough room, someone else had to take their place. That really undermines the court's credibility. One of the issues that comes up all the time is multiple warrants on misdemeanor offenders. So we'll issue a warrant when someone fails to appear. The person will be picked up, but there's not enough room in jail, so they're released. They then fail to appear again. They get released again. Sometimes it takes between 3 and 5 warrants before someone is held for the case to get done. Each time we have to set up the court appearance. Everyone shows up for the court except the defendant. We issue another warrant. I can tell you it's frustrating, and it's not an efficient way to do things. We have very limited sentencing options. When I was a new lawyer in this courthouse back in 1974, I would be meeting with Judge Mengler, and he would say many of the criminal defendants needed just a taste of jail. That was his expression, a taste of jail. And that meant to him 2 or 3 days in jail, and we'd move on. We can't give someone a sentence of 2 or 3 days in jail in Benton County. There's just not enough room. We can give them a longer sentence, but a short sentence, which may be appropriate in their circumstance, we just can't do. Another issue that comes up all the time is I'm also the drug treatment court judge in Benton County. And when we start drug treatment court staffing on Wednesday morning, the first question I ask is how many jail beds there are. This last month, on 2 occasions, I was told there are no jail beds. And when you're doing the sanction for someone in drug treatment court, those sanctions are usually fairly short, 1 or 2 days. But if there's no jail beds, you're not going to do that sanction. And it's very important to be able to do immediate sanctions for people that are receiving treatment in drug treatment court. And many times either there's not a bed available or there's so few beds available that we can't sanction the people that need to be sanctioned. Another issue that I'll talk about just very briefly is mentally ill inmates. And we have an increasing number of inmates that are mentally ill that come before us. The national statistic is about 16% of the people in local jails have mental health issues. We just don't have any way to deal with people that are mentally ill in our local jail. They should be segregated from the general population, but we can't do that. So they tend to decompensate, and a bad situation gets much worse as time goes on. So that's my basic comments on this. I appreciate your attention. Thank you.
Next, we'll have Commissioner Ann Schuster.
Thank you. So the jail is a critical component in our criminal justice system. If someone's brought into the jail, how can we help them so that they don't return? The sheriff and Benton County have incorporated space into the new jail design for treatment and education. This allows for interventions, and work release programs will also be incorporated. There's an exciting planning going on between the sheriff and Benton County Mental Health to create greater access to services for those who have committed an offense due to an addiction or mental illness. We're reaching out to a wide range of community members to partner with us in this endeavor. A new jail will provide space that is needed for opportunities for success. Thank you.
Next, we'll have District Attorney John Haroldson.
As a citizen of Benton County and as Benton County District Attorney, this is an exciting time. It's an exciting time because it gives our community the opportunity to define ourselves and what jail we wish to reflect our values. A new jail for Benton County means an opportunity to hold offenders accountable. It provides an opportunity for our community to express its commitment to keep citizens safe and also to reflect our values to be humane to those who find themselves in circumstances where they're incarcerated, to give an opportunity to ensure that loved ones can visit Under the current status quo, in order to manage the jail population, many inmates are transferred to Yamhill County, to Lincoln County, which prevents families without the economic resources from being able to visit their loved ones. It also creates challenges with respect to lawyers being able to have the sort of contact they wish to have with their clients. These are standards and values that the citizens of Benton County have the opportunity to speak up and to say, we want a jail that is going to honor all people, men, women, people from all walks of life. A new jail affords us the opportunity to continue to develop the most progressive programs and alternatives to sentencing that are available in our system. Benton County has had the privilege of having a drug treatment court that has been nationally recognized and has served as a mentor court across the country. That would not be possible without having a jail. In order to be able to take all the steps necessary to make the program work. The same could be said for all progressive models, whether we're talking about Veterans Court, Mental Health Court, Family Courts, Domestic Violence Courts. The list goes on. This is an exciting opportunity for our community to recognize that we have a responsibility to ensure the safety of the men and women in law enforcement who work daily, around the clock, in the jail, in order to ensure that the community is safe and that those who are incarcerated are safe as well. It affords an opportunity for our community to be able to underscore the importance of our responsibility to keep everyone safe. The current state of the jail presents potential liabilities to the citizens of Benton County that we now must answer the call for our responsibility to ensure that we offer a humane, secure, and safe facility for those who, facing accountability, will also have an opportunity to change their lives and be contributing members to our county. Thank you.